tired. The one word sums up how many protesters and activists in Atlanta describe feeling about the decision not to charge the officers directly in Breonna Taylor's death. While Taylor was killed by Louisville police, Atlanta protesters point to police shootings in our own city that are still unresolved. Cases like Kane Rogers, who was shot by Atlanta police officer James Burns in 2016 while in a car. An internal investigation found no evidence that Rogers was involved in the reported break-in Burns was investigating when he opened fire on it. Burns was fired and charged with murder, but the case still has not gone to trial 4 years later. And Dietrich Griffin, who was killed by an Atlanta police officer in 2019 after GBI says he tried to steal an unmarked police car from a gas station. His family says Griffin was unarmed and was shot as he was driving away from the officer. Their attorney says APD initially reached out about a settlement, then stopped responding. And DeAndre Phillips, who was shot and killed as he sat in a car near the police annex building in 2017. Police initially said officers were investigating the smell of marijuana coming from the car, and one of the officers was being dragged by Phillips' car when the officer shot him. But the family says surveillance video does not show that. The DA told us earlier this year he wants to bring the case before a grand jury, but so far, the officers have not been cleared or charged in the case.